You start.
Hello, we are two as one, and I am Karin.
I'm Andres.
Well, we are here to talk about relationships and mindset and all of these good things because mindset is truly everything. Mindset can overpower and get you through. I always think about when people they have had some horrible accident and the doctors tell them or some horrible diagnosis and the doctors tell them you will never walk again or you only have so many months left to live and people go, "Oh, yeah, I don't think so. I'm going to walk again." And next thing you know, they're up and walking and other people they just capitulate and they're gone. So, mindset is truly everything.
Yeah, it's interesting how the people, now um, about the genetics, and sometimes because my mom, my parents had some kinds of disease, so I'm carrying that disease with me. And when you talk with people, they believe that
Yeah.
they affirm that they have that, and
Yeah.
it's very impressive because they believe in that.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's this thing called epigenetics, and I actually got to interview Dr. Bruce Lipton some years ago when I had a podcast called Shift Happens. It's actually still out there on the podcast app and a couple other places probably, but he was amazing, and he was one of the, if not the person who identified epigenetics. And Dr. Joe Dispenza, I listen to him a lot, talks a lot about epigenetics, that while we may have the genetic propensity for something, we, with our thoughts, with our beliefs, of course, with our lifestyle, are can make a decision of whether or not those propensities get switched on or off. So there you go.
It's not a dead sentence that when you have a, or your parents have a, it's always, once you go to the doctors and they say, oh, that anybody in your family had cancer, so what's the point? It's
Yeah,
not something that I'm carrying on with me, and I'm okay.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
okay, I don't have anything.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's something that can be good to know and maybe be have on the lookout. And maybe I need to do something more and be more proactive to
Correct.
prevent it. So that's good. Now we're talking about all this because our topic today is timelines. We have this idea of what's supposed to happen when in our life. And as a therapist, I work with a lot of people who come to me and they talk about how, oh, I'm 34 and I'm not married and I haven't bought a house and I don't have my career. I still don't know what I want to do. All these different things. And people are stressing themselves out because they're behind. All my friends are X, Y, and Z, and I'm behind. And and we were just having this conversation about how is that affecting us?
Yeah, everybody's here to have their own experience. If someone is living another reality, another timeline, it's not necessary yours.
Right?
You have probably a bigger path in front of you,
Yeah,
but it's just not your time yet.
yeah,
It's something that we need to understand in order to start to create that reality.
exactly. And here's the thing: is that we're not in this cookie cutter life. That would be just so boring, wouldn't it? I for example, for me, I have my own example, and now I also have a pretty exciting example in my son with regards to how I came here. I went through high school. I grew up in Denmark. I went through high school, took a year off because I am somebody who cannot just go straight through school. I need a break from school and homework and tests and all that crap. I will go back, and which I proved over and again. Took a year break, was working, wanted to become what did I want to be? I wanted to go into physical therapy, but then I thought, oh, let me do this. I was interested in going into shipping, and so I did a year of business school, and then I was took another break or trying to find a job. That was not, the corporate thing was not for me. And then I came over here and started college there. So I was 21 when I came here. By then, a lot of people, at least here in the US, is like, oh gosh, I should be halfway through college by then. And I, you know, and and so I plowed my way through school, and so I would have been, so it was a couple of years. Long story short, over time, I eventually got my master's degree, and between my bachelor's and my master's, I took another 2 years off. I started with 1 year. I was like, oh, I need another year, and I eventually got my master's degree, and I got the license and all the things, and there's no way I could have gone straight through. And now I have such a really cool experience now with my son, who uh, graduated barely from high school. Really barely. He went into the alternate program and then another alternate program. And
He's a free soul.
he is a free soul, yes. And so he finally made it. He had his business that he started when he was 16 in high school with his buddy, and still has that. And well, he would play baseball all the way from, I don't know, 3 or 4 years old or something like that. And there's a lot of politics also, especially when you get to certain parts. So it didn't go so well in high school with baseball, and he just like, forget it, I'm done with the politics and whatnot. And he was not going to college. That was not his way, and I am all about, don't do it if it's not for you. It's just a waste of time and money. And so then, he's going about and living his life, having some fun. And then he goes to practice on a field, on a random field, because he's practicing for the little league or whatever. He's going to go back into, just play for fun. And there is the cousin of, I think it's Jacob from, somebody from, I should probably know the name, but anyway, somebody from our little town who went to Stetson University and got drafted into the pros, the cousin of that guy. And he was out there also practicing, and they started talking because he saw David, my son, is like, hey, you're pretty good. And he told him about the independent league, which is not related to college. It's like, oh, okay. So he went into the independent league, and that was a year and a half ago.
Yeah,
And now
almost 2 years.
he's getting ready to move to West Palm Beach to play with the Black Sox, which apparently is some other level of next level league, where a lot of people, they get drafted to minor leagues and whatever kind of leagues, pros, whatever, where you get paid to play. And so having this period again of a little break, so he got to take a break because it had been a lot of work. His dad took him to all of his running practice, hitting practice, baseball hitting practice, all the things on top of regular practice, and it was a lot. And so it was really good for him to take that break, give his mind a break, give his body a break, go have some fun. And now he's ready. So I really believe there's a lot to be said for allowing yourself some time to rest.
It's so beautiful. You mentioned something. Now he's ready.
Yes.
So when you are ready, the universe start to provide the
Yes.
opportunities, the doors get open, and then you start to see things from another point of view once you are ready to receive. I think that's the key.
I love it. Yes. That is so. You had, so we're talking about an experience with your cousin and your mom.
Yeah, I had a cousin in Ecuador. Now he's retired, and I remember my mom. She was talking to me about his experience, and she says, one day he was talking with my mom. He was probably 35 years old when they have this conversation, and he was telling my mom, I'm 35 years old, I'm married, had 2 kids, and my life is not going anywhere. So what I'm gonna do, and a certain point, he decided to put himself in the college, got a career, ended being a consul, and he been in the United States a couple times, opened a Ecuadorian consulate in Georgia, and moved to Spain, been working there for several years. Now he retired and got a beautiful career around the world, and that happened when he was ready,
Yeah,
and that was beautiful. That
yeah.
was a beautiful um, experience for him and for everybody who wasn't. And we knew him since we've been kids. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think really that's also the reason why I'm so against when parents they push the college thing. I've never been about that. And here I am, somebody with a master's degree, right? But I have a master's degree because I wanted it, not because my mom or anybody else told me you have to go to college. Because if they had, I probably would not have wanted to do it. I'm just one of those people, and of course, my son is like that too. My gosh, don't tell him to do anything and he will do the opposite. So, but because when you are pushing your kids to do that, it's it it's not coming from them. It's not their desire. They haven't found out why it is that they want to do. Now, if you have a kid who's one of those like, oh, I want to be a doctor, I want to be an attorney, I want to be a CEO of some business or whatever it is, by all means, but now it's coming from them. And it's the same thing with your cousin that he went along, did whatever, and then he felt lost. Because once we find something that we feel gives us purpose, something that gives our life meaning, now we're here for a reason, and it, it we show up in the world in a whole different way, right?
Yeah,
Mm.
definitely. That makes me, give me warm fuzzies when I think about that and remember all his journey. That was beautiful. And I met him in New York. He comes to visit me when he was working in Georgia, trying to open the Ecuadorian consulate over there. It was a beautiful experience.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And so, really, the whole point with this particular episode is don't worry about the timeline. Look within, because I think we spend too much time looking at everybody else. Oh, so and so is doing this, and so. And I always ask people, or suggest to people when my clients, when we talk about this particular topic, and I go, okay, well, just because they have this career and they got this degree and whatnot, how do you know if they're really happy? Are they happy with their bank job? Are they happy with being the pharmacist or whatever it is? Maybe they hate their jobs. Maybe they hate their career. They might love it, but just looking at the outside on the surface, you don't know whether that's giving them happiness. They have jumped through the hoops of what is expected of them, but is that what they really wanted to do? And I think, and that is what I'm always encouraging people to design your own life. Design the life that gives you purpose, that makes you feel like your life has meaning,
Mm-hmm.
like you're doing something in life, that like you're making a difference. And it doesn't have to be, oh, you're president of whatever country or anything like that. It could be that you are the best person. You're the dog whisperer, right? Maybe that's what it is.
You can make a big difference in your environment. You
Oh
can
yeah,
influence in a very big way, and the people surrounding you, the people that you know, the people that you love. You can create an impact in everybody's life. um, even the most insignificant thing can change somebody else's
yeah,
life. I remember a few days ago I was talking with this lady, and she was kind of lost, and I ended taking her to the place where she was trying to go, and she says, "Oh my God, you're an angel." I was, well, I could be an angel. You can be somebody else angel
yeah,
with the small things that you can do for somebody else. Just be kind,
yeah.
and you can change the world for somebody else.
Absolutely. And sometimes it can be the most minuscule thing. didn't think anything of it. It's like, oh, there's
No, I
somebody,
mean,
I'm
yeah,
working, this is my job, and get her over there. And that's because you're also service oriented. You know, there are probably a lot of the people that would have just left her and
yeah. I mean, what's the word that the people used to say? If you don't live to serve, you don't serve to live. You, oh
yeah,
yeah,
it's
something
something
like
like that.
that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like that. Yes. Yeah. So I think that's really sums up what we wanted to talk about with this particular topic. Let us know, what do you think about the timeline, and what are some alternative things maybe that you've done? What was the moment where you decided, you know what, I'm going to jump off of the rat race and I'm going to do this thing here? And uh, what how did that go for you? Were you excited? Were you worried? Were you nervous? A lot of times all those things will come up.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you step out and you do something that's feels like there's no safety net there.
Yeah, I think, I'm a huge believer of the comfort zone. It's the most dangerous
Mm,
place where you can,
it is.
yeah,
Totally
stay.
is.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah, and I have definitely been known to take risks, and I step out there and I have faith. Scary, but I have faith. I'm going to figure
yeah,
it out. And the more you do that, the more resilient you find yourself. And that's a beautiful thing. So that also builds this confidence. So,
yeah. Remember, the first step is not gonna take you where you want to go,
mm,
but for sure it's gonna take you out from your comfort zone. I was talking with my son about this a couple days ago because I just signed him in the soccer academy, and he was super excited. And he asked me the other day, "Do you think this is the beginning of my career? Is this what I'm gonna make it?" And I told him, this is the first step, that's for sure. It's gonna take you out from where you've been before. So from here, let's see where you can go.
yeah,
You can make it happen.
yeah. And even if it's not in soccer, the work ethic is something that gets instilled with us, and learning how to work together as a team, and being open to being coached, and all of these things, they're all, whether it leads to a career in soccer or some other thing.
Yeah, for sure. He's only 10 years old.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful future ahead.
Yeah, the world is his oyster.
It
Yeah.
is, yeah.
So very exciting. Yeah, and I think that
Yeah,
wraps it up for today, doesn't
it
it?
is, yeah.
Yes. All right. Like, subscribe if this is something that inspired you. Maybe it'll inspire somebody else. And let us know. And we will see you next time. Go out and shine your beautiful
Thank
lights.
you.